This is a D6 generation Pip. One of those dots on the side of a six-sided die. Yeah, a Pip. A short Pip. Little something. About anything gaming related. Sometimes featuring Craig, sometimes featuring Russ. We'll see what's coming up today.
Welcome back to the second Pip of our two connected Pips. This is the way I'm going to talk from now on, I am clearly the established soothsayer, if you will, of the lot.
Sure.
Anyway, so 2020 predictions in where I try to humbly lose so that you guys can have some
I don't believe it. Don't believe it for a minute, people. He says that every year, and every year his score increases. Just throwing it out.
Russ,
crazy.
Yeah.
You remember you ever hear about when you go to the casino and you play a game called Caribbean Stud and they hand you your hand and all the cards are face down, and if you were to bet without looking at them, it's called going in blind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing. Whatever Craig says, I'm going in blind. I'm just going to go agree.
You could do that and limit me to 7 points, even if I get everything, and I probably won't. So, wow.
So,
remember in the beginning of the last Pip, Rafe, where you asked, "Is there a way to game?" And Russ said he hasn't figured it out, and you'll be able to know that from looking at his score. I think you, my friend, have just figured out how to game the game.
Yep.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not buying it. So, because here's the thing, there's a psychological component to this game.
There is.
That is very understated. And I don't think, Rafe, I'm going to predict right now, you will be unable to just agree
go
with
blind.
that thought. Yeah, there's gonna be a moment. I'm gonna predict it. This is my first prediction. Right now, you are gonna have to say, I was gonna agree with everything, but I can't go in on this one.
Okay, yeah, let's see if that comes true, because my intention right now is to do it.
So I feel like we should probably remind listeners of the rules, just in case they skipped the last Pip.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't care about 2019. Who does? God. Alternative timeline, here we come.
Also, Craig, while you were in the bathroom.
I was not in the bathroom. I was kissing my son goodnight. Thank you very much.
Rafe and I added a new rule.
Oh, really?
So we'll get to that in a minute.
And we voted.
Yeah, we did. You outvoted.
Right. And this is why true democracy sucks, because two wolves and a sheep just voted on what's for dinner.
Exactly. So I'm going to write in rule 4 here in a minute. But first, we're going to review the first 3 rules. So rule number 1, all predictions must be quantifiable and measurable by the end of the year. I added that, but that's been a known. Rule number 2, each prediction you make is worth 1 point, plus 1 for each person who disagrees with your prediction. Someone who correctly agrees or disagrees with you gains 1 point for being correct. If they say they have no opinion, they get minus 1 point. And of course, the person who is making the overall prediction, if they're wrong, they're going to get minus 1 point. And the third rule, which is not the final rule anymore. The third rule is all information must be public. So you can't make a prediction based on any insider information you have.
Right.
The new 4th rule, Rafe had a theory while you were in the bathroom that because you always predict last in each round, it gives you some kind of advantage.
I noticed that the thing was rearranged.
So the new 4th rule is the predictions are in the descending order from winner to loser of the prior year.
Oh, I like that rule.
So if there is any advantage to being had for going last, it's kind of like a catch-up mechanic.
Right.
So,
I like
order from winner to loser. So I get to go last as the big loser, and Craig, you get to go first as the big wiener.
Wait, so, Russ, I'd like to point out that we can all tell that we're from Gen X because you were totally comfortable to write loser.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than some politically correct term.
There are still losers in my world.
Exactly.
And so anyway.
Many.
And you were one of them in 2019.
I just was. I'm still a loser now, but.
Right. You can't use the word loser unless you can use it to refer to yourself when applicable.
Right. So, Craig, as last year's champion of predictions.
Boom.
What is your prediction for 2020?
I will do 0 or maybe 1 Kickstarter this year. I'm going to bring it all back down again. 3 is ridiculous. Give myself a little leeway, depending on how you guys feel about it. Give myself a leeway of 1, but
so no more than 1.
0. No more than 1 this year.
Rafe, what do you think
allowed any clarifying questions?
Sure.
Why are you so strongly against enjoying your Kickstarters?
The truth of the matter is that I have an addictive personality when it comes to completism. Okay, so I love to have like complete sets of things. And so the Kickstarter model is horrible for me in that regard. And I believe intentionally so. I believe the game side of Kickstarter has been developed and designed to prey upon this particular part of many gamers' psyches.
Completists. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. And I find that I am also ridiculously into immediate instant gratification. And I'm a strike while the iron is hot gamer, so that when I'm excited about something, I want to play it then. And when the Kickstarter delivers, all of a sudden, I'm not interested in it, and I've spent all this money. But because I spent all this money a year or so ago, I don't feel that impact. I feel it in the moment that I bought it, and then I don't feel bad about not using it when it comes in. So, like, I have multiple Kickstarters in my attic right now that have never been opened because when they came, I was playing something else and I wasn't that interested, and I didn't feel like I was out of pocket right in that moment. So I didn't have any guilt about just setting it aside. And eventually it goes from in the pub to into the storage in the throughway to the pub. And then from the throughway, it goes out to the garage, and from the garage, it goes in the attic.
That's enough, Senator. I have enough. I will agree
like
with you.
Filibuster you.
So Rafe is agreeing.
You're agreeing. Okay.
All right. I can't tell, Rafe, if that's just you agreeing with everything, or you actually already broke.
That's right.
My prediction. But given that you asked about it, I'm going to say you've already validated my prediction earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna disagree.
Oh, you bastard!
I don't think this is the meta game because it limits you to 1 point, one less point, and I do think I don't think you can resist, honestly. More than 1 Kickstarter.
Right.
So
it's a good disagreement.
Yeah. All right.
No, I think it's solid. I am trying to be honest, and I think that I don't know about Rafe. I think Russ is playing the numbers on knowing me and how bad I am at self-control.
Well, last year you bought 3 and you said you're going to get none.
Yeah. See,
so I feel like
he's going to whip himself this year, so he'll do it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to say no.
Here's mine. You ready?
Yeah. Go for it.
Bam.
Russ's measurement
height.
All right.
The new Xbox.
Yeah.
Known as Xbox Series X. Although, Russ, did you see some sort of confusing article that they're calling a whole bunch of them series, but the next one's going to be called just Xbox? Or
I may or may not have a prediction about that later.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk about that.
We'll beat out.
He's not going to give you any free info.
No.
The new PlayStation 5. Now, I normally think PlayStation beats Xbox, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to do it. I think Xbox Series, whatever. So I'm talking about, I'm not being specific. I mean the new thing, whatever they call it, that comes out in 2020.
So you mean console sales. So you're saying that, and by the way, you're predicting a couple things here. Both systems will launch in 2020.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So both will launch in 2020. I'm going to write this down. Both launch
there,
2020. And you're saying that the total sales of the Series X will exceed the total sales of the PlayStation 5.
Actually, I want to say that since they were playing some sort of name game. I don't want to be held on some technicality.
Yeah.
Have we ever held you on a technicality?
Sometimes. Russ has.
Oh, Russ, you bastard.
Well, so you're basically saying the new Xbox will beat the new PlayStation 5 and both launch and will sell more. Xbox sells by end of 2020.
And which site do you want to use for this? I don't know which one counts the consoles.
We'll have to research it. We can find them. That's okay. I'm comfortable with able to find that.
Okay.
It'll be articles about. It'll be a big deal if Xbox outsells it because that'll be in news. Craig, what are your thoughts on that? I like to do if you lose.
What your thoughts are?
No, because you won. See how this works?
Now
I
this,
had
I think, is
advantage.
where,
This
Exactly.
this is
Yeah.
where the disadvantage is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I disagree.
All right.
With one extra
Uh,
E for emphasis.
yeah.
We do allow change of answers, so it really doesn't matter.
I want to agree with this, Rafe, but I'm a little nervous the PS5 won't come out this year.
Yeah, I read that too.
I'm going to disagree with you also. As much as I want to, I'm going to regret that.
Could be a big pointer.
Yeah, I'm going to regret that. All right. It's time for my first prediction. Now, I want you both to know, this is really important. In reviewing my 2019 predictions, and even before we recorded that, I kind of had a hunch I was going to have an all-time low. And so I started really soul searching. Like, what am I doing wrong with my predictions? Like, how can I be a better predictor? And then I was watching the brand new Netflix series, The Witcher. Have you guys seen this show yet?
Oh, I've heard it's really good.
Oh, so it's based on a video game that I love, one of my favorite RPGs of all time.
Really
also based on a series of books that I encourage Craig's to read. And
Loved it.
Multiple Craigs.
Series is out.
Multiple Craigs.
Multiple Craigs. Every Craig should read it. And I was watching the show.
Is that like
And
Heather's?
we all loved it. We get together as a group. We have a book club.
And during the show, The Witcher had a great quote.
Oh, wow.
Many great
that
quotes.
inspired me. His quote was, he was talking to a wizard, and the wizard said, "There is a prediction." And he said the prediction. And the Witcher says, "It doesn't rhyme. All good predictions rhyme." So I have figured out my problem.
Oh, geez.
All my predictions this year shall rhyme. Because clearly that's my problem.
So with you right up until this moment,
I'm
Russ.
just not doing a good job. So
I like it.
I have my first prediction in verse, Craig. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I am. I don't know that I will ever be ready.
Here it comes. My first prediction is this. Contrast paints make new forces a breeze. I'll paint 3 armies as quick as you please. All right? So this is my first prediction. So I have some qualifying language around it to make it very clear. So just to repeat for those who missed the brilliance of this prediction, but it's contrast paints make new forces a breeze. I'll paint 3 armies as quick as you please.
No, it's better the way you have it written, my friend. It scans better the way you wrote it.
I know. Well, sometimes you take a little poetic license.
I'm telling you, your poetic license has been revoked.
Okay. You want to read it, Craig? Craig, why don't you give me a dramatic reading of my
contrast paints make new forces a breeze. I'll paint 3 more as quick as you please.
See? Ooh, that's good. That's a good prediction. You can't argue with that being a quality prediction.
I have some legal questions.
Yeah, sure.
New army means you've never painted one model before?
Yes. So I've added some qualifications here just to make it clear. Paint 3 more new air quote armies means could be a game I already play, but not a force I own in that game.
Okay.
Right.
And an army is any force with more than 20 models.
Sure.
So, yeah. Yep.
Wow. Okay. I agree.
Yeah.
I also agree.
You gonna tease it out there, Russ?
No, because 2 reasons. Well, I could say I'll paint 4 more as quick as you please. The poetry still works. But
4 more as quick as you please.
But honestly,
5 more. You could go up to 6, but 7, then it won't
Well, here's the thing. I feel like I got big last year, partly because you guys kept agreeing with me, and I killed myself.
Yeah.
So this year, I'm going to take some softballs. If I can just score 1 around, that's 7. And that is literally 7 times better than I did last year.
Okay.
That's what you call managing expectations.
Exactly.
That is fair.
All right, Craig. Round 2. What is your prediction?
Round 2.
Yeah.
All right. Round 2. It's a little close to home, Russ.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
I am extremely excited about our new patent pending VREP system.
Oh, I love the VREPs. Yeah, they're fun.
And I believe
put a new one up. Yeah.
That the VREP, the Video Battle Report system, that we came up with over probably a little too much tequila.
Yes.
And several different Mexican dinners is going to revitalize our Patreon base and we will see a rise of at least 100 more patrons by the next prediction episode.
A bold prediction. You're going to write down in the
notes. It is bold.
That is excellent.
Which of course encompassed within that is we will. Nope, I've got it, man. I got it. Okay. Jeez. Did you not hear that I'm on prednisone?
They're typing over each other in the Google Doc.
For our listeners, right? We're fighting in the Google Doc.
We're fighting in the Google Doc.
So our new VREPs, which are video battle reports that Craig and I have done, they're designed to be complete, self-contained video battle reports in less than 10 minutes. There's a pre-game narration, a mid-game narration. Occasionally, we inject innovative mechanic asides, and then there's an end-game narration. And the key is the video covers zoom and in-depths of Craig's amazing terrain, our paint jobs, the models, so you get a feel for the modeling and the mechanics all in one viewing, as well as you get to see Craig or myself lose horribly depending on the game.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Craig's part of these.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is.
And they're under 10 minutes?
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
Right. And needless to say, Craig had a bunch of ideas that ended up on the cutting room floor because Russ is the best human being on the planet for taking my stuff, taking whatever might work out of it, and gently setting the rest of it aside.
Yeah, he is good at that.
He's very good at that.
You know who else is good at that? Is Dave.
No, Dave is brutal and cruel.
Anyway.
He does it with a smile.
So, Rafe, so basically Craig's prediction is our patrons will increase by 100 head count.
Okay. I know if I know anything, the two of you, when you put your heads together, you're going to do what you say you're going to do. I'm not worried about that part.
That's why I didn't say we would just do it, though.
But I don't know.
I said it's going to, exactly. The unknown here is the impact it's going to have. Right.
Yeah, right.
Disagree.
No faith.
All right. Rafe disagrees. Craig, I have to agree on principle.
You have
so,
really?
I think that's extremely optimistic. 50?
I think it is.
But
I was going to say 50, but then you know what? Go big or go home, and I want to lose. So I want to make everybody feel good about themselves.
We should clarify for Rafe, and maybe Rafe doesn't know this, the VREPs are only available to patrons.
Right.
You can't watch them without being a patron, a $2 patron. So basically it's a lost chapter. So they're lost chapters.
Yeah, lost chapters. Yep.
Well, I hope so. I think it's a great prediction, Craig, and I admire your chutzpah. So if you're a listener and you want to check these out, head on over to our Patreon page. You can see that at the D6generation.com or patreon.com/the D6generation. And you can check out our first couple of VREPs. And we're going to try to crank out at least 2 a month. So we'll see how we do.
That's our goal.
Cool.
And if on occasion we can crank out more, we may put one out there on YouTube.
If we can get to a third one in a month, that one might go public. Yeah, we might.
Yeah, because we want to give you an idea of what you might be buying into.
That's right. All right, Rafe, what is your second prediction for 2020?
Mine is so elegant and so clean.
All right.
And I want to give you guys, after I post it, I want to give you what the internet is saying so you can make an educated vote. Okay? Okay, here we go. That's mine. Diablo 4, which has been hugely anticipated by Blizzard. I don't know if you follow Blizzard.
Yeah, I follow them.
Will release in 2020.
Yeah, my daughters and I have been following Diablo 4, and they've announced it, but I don't know if they've given us a date yet. Though.
Exactly, Russ. So, Craig, here's what the internet says.
Optimistic.
Diablo 4 may be a way out yet, or it might be just around the corner. Kotoko's report claims that the Diablo release 4 date is 2020, but of course, it could be sometime later before we get to pick up our swords and go hell raising. So the internet doesn't know. So I'm making a prediction.
Craig, you got to go first.
Well, in the interest of full disclosure, I have no idea. So why don't I go with the company that's making the game and say I agree?
They've not announced it.
I still agree.
Okay. Just want to be fair.
I'm going to disagree because Blizzard is well known for delaying games.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
I should have asked more questions.
You can change your vote. It is allowed.
No, he can't because I got second go advantage.
Yeah, I know.
If I can change, then that completely nullifies his advantage. Because the only real advantage he has in this new thing you guys dreamed up while I was kissing my son goodnight is that I go second in the agree or disagree.
And Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any real. There's no real advantage to who gives a prediction first.
I just put a really cool pic in the Google Docs of the demon. So
she looks lovely, except for those horns.
Oh yeah, I like it. Okay, my round 2 prediction. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Names have power. That is known. Xbox is renamed, and the X Cloud will pwn.
No.
Wow, you got a rhyme and some leet speak in there.
I got a rhyme and leet speak. Craig, do you want to read it again to make sure my my poetry
Names
works?
have power. That is known. Xbox is renamed, and the X Cloud will pwn.
All right, here's what this means. See, real predictions are cryptic, and it takes someone to explain them to you. This is how this works.
Right. Yeah.
So as Rafe mentioned, the Xbox Series X, that name is, I mean, let's be honest.
Boring.
Microsoft, they did well when they chose Xbox. Every other thing they put on the end of the word Xbox to make it different versions kind of sucks. And Series X is really no better. Now, Microsoft just kind of hinted they're going to rename it, so I'm just going to call it. They're going to rename it. It's going to be something like there's going to be a series of Xbox or something, but no one's going to call it Series X. And secondly, Microsoft's going to emerge as the clear leader in the game.
Wow, you know what you haven't done, Russ, is walk away from these multi-tiered predictions.
Yes, I haven't. So there are now game streaming services launching. Google's already launched Stadia. Microsoft's xCloud, which is their competitive service, is in beta now. I'm predicting that xCloud will be predicted and generally agreed upon by everyone as the premier service of these three. Sony's thinking about one, but they haven't even got it off the ground yet. And this is the reason, Rafe, I think the next Xbox will, in fact, beat the PS5 because of this particular service.
Okay.
So what do you guys think?
So you're also saying the Xbox comes out in 2020, which they've said.
Yeah. But that's already been announced. I think that's a softball.
So it has to have a new name, and it has to be the leader.
The xCloud has to be the leader, not the X. The xCloud and the Xbox are different things. One's a service, one's a console.
Right, but the Xbox Series X has to have a new name.
Yes.
And has to be the leader.
They're already talking.
No. I'm not saying the Xbox is the leader. That's race prediction. I'm saying that the xCloud, which is a service you can subscribe to.
So you've got two different predictions. You're predicting about two different things.
Yes.
Xbox Series X will have a new name.
Yeah.
And the xCloud will be the leader in streaming technology.
For video games. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
It says in-game streaming technology. I'll allow it. I don't know. I have faith in you, and my faith has been misplaced so often.
That's right. What are you going to do?
I am going to put my answer way too high up because you're on top of the... disagree!
All right, so you're disagreeing. And Rafe, what's your thoughts on that?
I think you are reading the tea leaves correctly on this one, and I will agree.
I was hoping for a 3-pointer there, Rafe. All right, Rafe agrees. All right, Craig. Round 3. What do you got for us?
Round three, Russ. I have it's not a verse, sadly. And it's actually the opposite of yours. I say that I don't know why. I feel like I've screwed up my 7th prediction. It should have been you will all have rhyming predictions next year. That would have been great. All right, go ahead. I just thought of that now. Yeah, I feel like my Gene Stealer Cup Army really burned me out on armies. So I'm gonna say I will paint no more than one full-size army, 30 models or more, in the coming year.
Well, you did that.
And a new army, it means I don't have any painted models currently in any form to build from. See, with yours, I felt like I could agree, Russ, because I can name at least 2 that I think you're going to have painted by the end of the year.
New armies just, it could be 40K, but it's just, and it's an army.
Any army system that I haven't already started.
You realize you've literally predicted I'm going to paint 3 times as many armies as you.
Yeah, I know.
We got to clarify this.
That never happens. That's not going to happen.
In the past 5 years, for example, you've been known to have a complete Death Core IG and then paint a Penal Legion IG. Does that? Under my rules,
No.
army.
I've never done what you're describing, but I understand. And no, I would say that's a totally different army.
Okay.
If we can even go with paint schemes, right? So
yeah, there we go.
Like if I paint this, like if I have a Death Guard army, which I already have like 3,000 points, and I decide, you know what, I really like the Death Guard, but I want them in pink, and I paint up enough models to field a pink Death Guard army, that would be a new army.
Okay. I was even going to say if you painted a Nurgle army with demons.
I would if I don't know, because if they fit into the Nurgle army by the rules, I would say they're still part of the same army. Like I have 40 demons that I haven't painted yet. If I am fielding them in the Nurgle army, would be the same. If I painted enough models and HQs and elites to field them as a demon army, I would say they were different.
So like maybe, yeah. And so the way to distinguish that would be if you're using the demon codex.
No, they'd be all new. They're all new models. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
He just painted them just for this army.
Right.
So.
If it's a new army, meaning an army that I still have, but it's a new paint scheme,
right,
or a new army that uses different rules.
No way.
Rafe, you agree?
I disagree.
Oh wow.
I completely disagree.
He only painted one last year.
I know, but that's because he had Joan of Arc. He had other rules around there. I think the board games. This is my prediction inside this prediction, and if I really thought about it, I could make it rhyme. But basically, Craig's board games took all of his time. Something. He's going to paint more armies. That's all I got. You're going to paint more.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
For my next prediction, I always like to make a prediction about Russ.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you some questions.
Sure.
How old is Rose now?
17.
Okay, that's based on my prediction here.
Okay, good.
And she drives.
Yes, she does.
Does she have her own vehicle?
She has a vehicle that we let her use, yes.
Yeah, one she can use whenever she wants, pretty much.
She technically does not own it, though. Yes.
That's fine. Okay.
Right.
And you guys are still playing family D&D?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And how many, is it once a week?
More like monthly. Yeah.
Oh, once a month.
Yeah.
Okay, do you log those games?
I do.
All right. Even though Rose is 17,
mm-hmm.
and has her own car, meaning she doesn't want to hang around with her parents.
Yeah.
I still think you guys are going to get one game a month.
Oh, you got to be careful, man.
Of D&D.
All right.
You got to be careful.
Oops, wrong cut and paste there. How do I undo that?
Well, that's just unacceptable.
I think Russ will turn into a demon. Okay, I cut and pasted a demon. All right.
All right.
Now, wait, did you guys play once every month, or were there any holiday months?
There were sometimes we didn't play in a month because we try to schedule them, but it's hard because all the kids are working now, so it's tricky. But we try to play once a month.
All right. Do you think I basically what I'm trying to say, Russ, is you're going to do the same that you did this year. So is there a number that you can put in?
Well, you can just say that we'll play as much or more than we did in 2020 that we did in 2019.
Say the same number of sessions or more.
Yeah,
you track
right. I track them. Yeah.
Even though your kids are teenagers.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. That's my prediction.
Craig, what is your thoughts
prediction?
on that? Yep.
I disagree.
Disagree. I'm going to agree.
Really? You got plans, do you, for when school starts?
Why don't we go to my prediction that's coming up in verse?
Oh.
Ready?
In verse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we should say we didn't say this time, but we long-time listeners will know that we write our predictions in secret.
Correct.
Yes.
And none of them seen them. So Rafe had no way of knowing this was my third prediction.
Wow.
Here it is. You ready?
Yep.
Poetry. Children who grow with RPGs at home keep their family bond when later they roam.
Oh, that's a good rhyme.
So this one is basically my D&D campaign of 5 years is actually going to conclude in the first quarter of 2020.
Oh, no.
We've been playing that since 5th edition came out. But We will start a new campaign over the summer, which will continue while the kids are in college, and they will still play with us. In other words, we're going to use virtual tabletop technology and still keep playing D&D.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's my prediction. So it's basically the same as Rafe's, but slightly different.
Do Rose and Devin both have to continue playing for this to be true?
Yes.
And is Devin going to college, or is he?
No, he's a year behind Rose, so he won't be.
Okay. All right. Well, that definitely impacts. Okay. I don't know why Russ is channeling Sling Blade in this Pip. Tater tots.
That's when I went to
Greg.
Got the Sling Blade.
Pretty good tater tots right there. All right, Craig, what are you doing?
I reckon I agree with your little poem right there.
You're tapping in the wrong spot again.
I keep putting it in the wrong place.
All right. Craig is typing agree. Craig agrees apparently. Rafe, what is your call on this one?
I wish I could go back and agree with Rafe.
Well, I could hedge my bets.
That'd be fun.
But I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to agree.
Why not? Already, by the way, you're not just constantly agreeing. I want to throw that out
I know.
there.
Yeah, I lost that.
I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Number 2.
All right, Rafe agreed. Round 4, Craig, what is your round 4 prediction?
Round 4, I'm going back into my wheelhouse here. You guys have your video games and whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
Round 4, I'm going into the MCU.
Oh, I
don't know if I've got a lot of faith in Phase 5, or is it Phase 4?
All right,
Phase 4, Phase 5, I forget.
It's hard because they ended so well after Phase whatever we just did.
They did. So, in 2020. There will be a total of 3 Marvel movies, one of which, the X-Men movie, will not be in the MCU. The other 2 will be. I'm pretty sure it's Phase 5, but I don't know. Phase whatever. Phase
sure.
whatever.
Okay, sure.
The New Mutants is the X-Men movie that will be coming out on April 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Black Widow, the prequel, will be coming out on May 1st. And The Eternals, which claims to plan on being able to tie all of the Earth-based heroes with the celestial and space-based heroes to try to tie the whole thing together to move it forward in this phase, will be coming out on November 6th. I predict none of these will break into the top 10 for top box office grossing MCU films. The X-Men, the X-Men film, I think, is a given. Those just crash and burn on every level. The other 2, I think, Black Widow she could pull a Captain Marvel and crush this whole thing. Currently, the top 10, Captain Marvel is way in there towards the top. And currently, it ends with the 10th most grossing movie is Guardians of the Galaxy at 333.2 million. And those are box office only, so not like streaming and licensing and whatnot. So, which is where you get the billions total coming in.
So what's your prediction? It was kind of all over the place.
Let me cut and paste it. So because I got it all here. Why reinvent the wheel, gentlemen? All right. So my prediction is that none of the Marvel movies coming out in 2020 will crack the top 10 for most highest grossing MCU film.
And the number 10 was one of the Guardian of the Galaxy.
The 10th was Guardians of the Galaxy 1 at 333.2 million.
So they have to beat that and above.
They have to beat that. Yes.
Okay.
That or above.
I agree with Craig.
All right. I'm going to disagree. I think Black Widow will
I feel like I'm being locked into a max of 2 no matter what.
I saw that. I
feel like
Black Widow.
Black Widow's going to crush it. Black Widow's going to be Wonder Woman /
it could be. I don't know though. I don't know.
The trailer was meh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
And I don't think the Eternals really have any traction. But then I remember back like 4 or 5 years ago, I said the Guardians of the Galaxy, we would love it, but it would crash with
I do remember.
And you were wrong.
With the audience, and I was totally wrong on that too.
I have to do some explaining to help Craig and maybe Russ.
Again, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Craig, have you heard about how WoW Classic has come out?
No idea.
Okay. So you know WoW.
I do.
All right. WoW's been going 15 years, and they launched Classic, which is basically a whole nother server, a whole nother game, where it was what they call vanilla WoW. So it's like patch 1 point, whatever. And so they rebooted the game back to its original form, including none
like
of
graphics and everything.
Graphics of yes, but the graphics haven't changed that much. But including there's no quality of life things. For example, you don't get a mount till level 40, where in like new WoW you do at like level 20 or something.
So it's hardcore for the hardcore WoWer. Yeah.
Okay. The pundits, the internet says this is a passing fad. People are going to be sick of this and bored of this in a year, and it's all going to, it's going to fade away. Yeah, there'll be some people playing, but it's going to fade away. So the way I'm defining it is, massively overpowered, which writes about MMOs, will say something like in an article, I don't know how to get numbers, but we'll say something like, despite what we thought, the WoW Classic game is still vibrant, still alive, and Blizzard's going to support it, and that kind of language.
I am going to have to defer to Russ on how clear the quantifiable aspect of that
is. Can we
is.
say there's as many or more users than there are today?
No, because I think users will decline, but I think the internet now is basically saying it's nostalgia, it's going to fade away into nothing.
I feel like that's a little vague, Rafe.
Okay.
I need some kind of quantifiable number. Either they'll still be within 10% of its users as now.
I don't know the user base now. They don't. I don't know how to find the user base.
Maybe you can't. Normally they publish the numbers, but all right. Well, I guess we'll have to allow it. Craig, it's fuzzy. So,
but you know me. If we see an article and I'll be like, it's not going strong, guys.
Yeah.
Well, then I would like to put a caveat on this one.
Okay.
That you have to find the article, Rafe.
Yeah, I will.
Before we do the episode, right? One way or the other. And
so
there is an article on the night that we record.
Rafe presents evidence.
Russ can come up with something. Right. There you go.
Rafe to provide evidence.
Correct.
Because I think in the moment, none of us
evidence,
find an article and then read through it.
Then wrong. How's that?
Right.
So if you can't find any evidence, you're wrong.
Well, I'm going to use this one site. I'm even saying the site.
Well, I know, but if the site doesn't have an article, you can't say, well, because they didn't write anything about it, it's still good. That doesn't work.
No, that would mean I fail.
Got it. Okay.
Right. I disagree.
So Craig disagrees. I'm also disagreeing. That is a fad. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a big 3-pointer, Rafe.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's the first time.
I'm in the mood for more poetry, though.
Well, I got some. Here we go. Are you ready for this one? This has got some Russian in it, so be careful. Here we go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. CD Projekt Red proves lightning strikes twice. Witcher 3 good. Cyberpunk just as nice. All right. So this one is a prediction that the new game from the studio that brought us to Witcher 3, which is coming out this spring, and it's called Cyberpunk 2077. I am saying that game will score just as well on Metacritic as The Witcher 3 did, which is a big prediction because The Witcher 3 is in the 90s.
And that's out of 100?
Yeah. So I'm basically...
no preceding titles to Cyberpunk 2077?
No, it's a new IP. It's a new universe. Yeah. So this will be interesting.
What's The Witcher getting on like Metacritic?
90, 92, and 93, depending on the console you choose, but it's all in the 90s. So I'm basically saying Cyberpunk will be in the 90s also.
Yep. Wait, in the 90s, or it has to beat it? Like whatever the score is of the
Witcher.
Witcher.
As good, so equal or
tie or more. Okay.
Yeah.
So
can't
you just give us the score? Like right now, lock it in.
Well, it depends on the console. It's 93
pick your console.
for Xbox. I don't want to.
No, I'm okay with this.
All right.
I mean, you just gave us. I don't even want to
in
go
the 90s. In the 90 or better. I'm okay.
Yeah, 90. I'm saying 90 plus, basically. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
I'm saying in the 90s. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, as I've stated, once again, I'm in the wrong thing here. I don't even know how that happens.
All right.
I think Russ is manipulating my cursor somehow.
I am. I control your horizontal. I control your vertical.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, like as I've said, I'm in the dark on all of these game things, and I used to follow Russ, and he led me wrong.
I have proved that I am not wise in the way of the future. Although this year I am rhyming.
But then in round two, I disagreed with you on that general principle. But you know what? I want to hedge my bets. I'm going to agree.
Okay. All right. See, this is where the psychology of this thing comes in.
I don't feel like
disagree.
Yeah,
it's not going to beat Witcher.
Rafe disagrees. All right. Rafe is pointing out that Craig's pointing out he doesn't feel good about this. All right. Well, Craig,
I don't.
It's okay.
You know what? I'll go up. I don't feel good about the one where I had to go first on Rafe's on round 3.
See, this is painful. This having to go first thing. All right. Speaking of going first, round 5, Craig. What's your prediction for the 5th prediction for 2020?
Okay. I tell you what. Hey, excuse me.
Bless you.
All right.
Bless you.
And not only am I spelling that wrong, that's actually a number, not a letter. All right. I almost said scene 5. Marvel Crisis Protocol, the new Marvel Heroes Miniatures game by Atomic Mass Games.
I disagree.
I think will remain strong throughout 2020.
What does that mean?
With its regular monthly releases continuing through the year. Okay. And it will include at least 2 more that have not yet been teased. So they haven't teased any X-Men. They haven't teased any Fantastic Four. As an example, at PAX Unplugged, they announced the Green Goblin
and Wakanda. And got it,
yeah. Everybody they announced, everybody they had at PAX Unplugged, they already had, except for an alternative Black Widow and Green Lantern and Green Goblin.
All right.
So, and they announced Thanos in a surprise video a couple of weeks ago. So they're still surprising new things, and I think that will continue into throughout 2020. So I'm saying that their monthly releases, meaning 2 to 3 character packs every month, will continue, and they will have at least 2 more that haven't been teased yet.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Now this is the one, Russ, where I couldn't go in blind. I can't resist. I disagree.
See? There you go. Now
I know I did it up above, but I can't resist on this one.
They did just release. They already released Black Panther and some Wakanda.
Yeah, they did. Black Panther and Killmonger were released last week, and Shuri and Okoye and Venom are all being released. In the next week or 2.
The Fantasy Flight guys and Atomic Mass.
Well,
and all
it's
those
Fantasy
guys,
Flight / Privateer.
I get it.
All the main guys are Privateer.
I get it. What I'm saying is that that company is well funded, and they don't miss their dates often. Right. And I know Fantasy Flight just missed a bunch of Star Wars dates, so I get the irony in that. But so I'm going to agree with you, Craig.
Okay.
I think the Marvel game is doing really well. So, all right.
Right.
What do you got?
Well, this is my prediction for Craig. I have to have one for each of you.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And this is it right there.
Ooh.
Craig has to read it. No.
Oh, wow.
This is the year Craig gets kicked in the nuts. Do you remember that prediction when he was just taking karate?
I'm assuming that's a joke because my son doesn't even do karate anymore. Yes, now he does Ninja Warrior.
Notice I didn't
where the danger of me getting kicked in the nuts is much less.
I didn't say by Reese. It's just general.
Oh, just in general. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's why the second.
Or you're going to play a game of X-Wing.
Yes. So I want
a single game of X-Wing.
One game of X-Wing. That's not even a. Wow. Okay.
Well, listen, I have to give you a qualifier. I wanted to play all of 2019, and I never did. I could have played with Doc. I could have had all these chances. Never played it. And I am going to Adepticon, and I have 0 plans to play X-Wing. Like, I'm not signed up to play it. I'm not intending to play it.
I feel like this is like a honey trap.
I know. I was like,
hey guys, easy point.
I am not going to play X-Wing, but I'm going to predict I will.
Because I really want to, so I'm hoping it'll force me.
If you game this, I'm just going to make sure that right before we start recording, Reese kicks me in the nuts.
I was going to say, my favorite part about this is that if Rafe doesn't play X-Wing, but Craig does get kicked in the nuts, Rafe is still correct.
Correct. He could be at like a petting zoo and a goat.
Doesn't matter.
Like, if things are looking dark by December, Rafe can just say, "Hey, Greg, want to go to lunch?" and then punch me in the nuts.
If we're sitting
I
here
have to kick you.
Oh, it's got to be a kick, right? Okay.
Right. Kicked in the Craig, what are you going to do here?
I don't even know.
I feel like the likelihood you're going to go a whole year not play X-Wing is about the same that Craig gets kicked in the nuts. So this is a pretty good prediction.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It's pretty good.
I have to agree. Because I feel like I'm in charge of this one.
I would agree.
X-Wing is like, that's out in the wind. That's totally Rafe. That's who knows. But I can control getting kicked.
I want to agree just to see if Rafe's going to kick it up a notch.
Craig will get kicked in the nuts twice.
No, I'm staying with it.
All right.
Oh, really?
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Wow.
My round 5 poetry. Here it comes. Okay. Games bring together those who are divided. We'll keep playing and talking long after the election's decided.
Oh, you're not giving yourself a lot of time there, Russ.
Well, so
November, December.
So this, my prediction is
Yeah.
that, and Craig, do you want to read it again? Check my my poetry.
Games bring together those who, I assume you mean are divided.
Oh, okay, sure.
Those games bring together those who divided. We'll keep playing and talking. I don't think you can have like a
All right, the English teacher's not liking my
talking
creative.
after the elections decided.
Yeah, I was going for a cadence there. Maybe it didn't work out. Anyway.
You're going for flavor there, but that's not the actual.
Yeah, my syllable count was having trouble. Anyway,
right, yeah, you got a lot of issues there. We'll just move on.
Not my best work. So I'm basically saying that I'm going to relaunch the Dyson Discussions Group.
Yeah.
And this time, by gumbo, we will meet at least 6 times this year, and we're going to gain at least 1 new member.
And do all of the current members have to return?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's irrelevant.
So there goes my free out.
Yeah.
I quit.
Yeah, you can't bail.
You lose.
I mean, you can bail, but I'll find someone else. You're replacing
Right.
I was wondering the same thing.
All right, Craig, what do you think?
I agree.
Oh, hey. Ray,
I have faith.
I agree.
Wow. All right. That's great, because if I'm wrong...
Next year is going to be a very low-scoring game.
I think the poetry's working. All right. Round 6, Craig, what's your prediction?
Yeah, my last 2 are pretty short. Okay. As I tracked for those 4 games in the preceding predictions, I know that I have played in the vicinity of 35 miniatures games in 2019. I predict that I will play at least 40 or more in 2020. 20 miniatures games. Okay, that would include pretty much any game that includes miniatures. So I'm including miniatures included board games there.
I agree.
Like
would you
it's a
play
lot.
last year?
It's a lot.
Did you play last year, Craig?
What did I play? Like games or numbers?
Total count. What did you get to?
The final count was around 35.
Yeah, 40 seems pretty good.
It was, but yeah.
How's your workload looking?
How's my what?
I'm going to ask lawyerly Rafe-like questions. How are you feeling about your school workload and the play in the fall? And
and you're right.
I'll be honest, my school workload is about to become crushing now that you mention it, and this was a really sad prediction.
And how's your writing opportunities? A lot of novels coming at you this summer?
In fact, I did just receive a final edit that I have to edit. I received my author's copies of my newest fantasy novel and a contract for a new novel. So now that you mention it, yeah, I will be fairly busy.
I disagree. You're not going to.
Ouch. Yeah, right. Ouch. Yeah, okay. Not feeling good about this one.
I appreciate your honesty, though.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. Mine is also a simple one, and I'll give some clarifying evidence if you need it.
All right. You will play a solo bit in a song.
So this is no longer lead. Now you're saying like what happened this year would count for this.
No, I mean this.
So wait, we have listeners.
You
So
know,
what is your prediction, Rafe? So the people who are listening.
the listeners.
This is the year I will play a lead solo in a song.
Okay. So
And I still don't have one down. I've worked it through, and it's basically like 25% too slow. Like I'm 75% more I need to do.
and you've removed the guitar from this, so it could be any form.
Oh no, I don't play another instrument. It's guitar.
could be lead
Not
singer.
aiming it that deep.
No, you're not wrong. I do sing, but I sing backup.
Okay.
And is this in a paying gig, or like define the gig? That would
Yeah,
happen?
sorry, in a gig. Yeah, in a backyard barbecue level gig. So it might not be a backyard barbecue. It could be a room, but it's not out with paying customers, or it could be. So I'll say out. That's what musicians call it.
Craig, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have to agree because I have faith in my friend Rafe.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like this is a touchy-feely thing. You have to agree, otherwise.
yeah, I'm nervous about it already.
Totally.
You can up your prediction now, Rafe. We both.
No. I mean, I'm already like scared to do it. So
Okay. All right.
okay.
All right. My sixth prediction. You know what? I'm going to do some poetry. Why not? My sixth prediction is back to our roots. Vid games will learn. It's story and characters that people yearn. It's 4. I forgot the word 4. So here we go.
Dude.
Craig, you can scan it again for me. How's my reading?
I'm glad that you put in an extra syllable there.
No
Back to our roots, vid games will learn. It's for story and character that people yearn. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Nice. That's nice.
So this year, there's been RPGs had a good year this year, and EA, the software studio house publisher that has a Star Wars license, have been making really just multiplayer Star Wars games. But finally, they released Jedi Fallen Order, which killed it. And I think that plus the RPGs are going to have a story game resurgence. And the way I'd like to measure this is that the top 10 selling video games of 2020, half of them, so 5, will be single player experiences.
So all that's needed is 2 more than this year.
Yeah, because this year only 3 out of 10 got it. So like Last Jedi, Pokemon Sword, and Kingdom Hearts. But the rest are all like, because you think about it, Madden, all the sports games like are typically Madden, NBA, FIFA. Those are like 3 of them right there. You can't knock them out of the top 10. So now finding 2 more is hard. And then you've got things like, Division 2 doesn't really count as a single player game. That sucks. There's always like another big, Fortnite type game. So it's actually hard to get 2 more. So it's I think it's kind of a stretch, honestly. What do you guys think?
I think that I will say I agree-ish. Agree.
Rafe?
I agree.
Oh, man. I said I'm not
We're killing each other here now.
I'm not kicking it up this year. I'm trying to play it safe. All right. Round 7, the final prediction.
Yep.
Craig, what is your final prediction for 2020?
So, slight kerfluffle on Twitter today about Diet Coke.
Oh.
And,
Okay.
And why people drink Diet Coke and whatnot. And the little known story of why I drink Diet Coke is because freshman year of military school, the sergeants of our unit could steal anything from our trays that they wanted every day at lunch, or any meal, but at lunch in particular. And I learned quickly that Coke, which I loved, would get taken immediately. And one day, I can't remember the reason I did this, but I got Diet Coke instead. And one of the sergeants took it and almost spit it in my face and made a big giant scene about the fact that I was drinking Diet Coke and, oh, that's gross and that's disgusting. And what was I trying to lose weight for? Blah, 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 blah. And after that, no one took my Diet Coke.
Oh.
So I acquired the taste of Diet Coke in military school freshman year so that I could have something to drink that was not water, which I hate drinking, or juice, which I'm not a big fan of, with food. And so I have been drinking Diet Coke ever since because of the taste, because when I could go back to regular Coke, my taste buds had become too used to Diet Coke and regular Coke and any other regular soda tastes way too sweet to me.
Right.
And I realized that there are other drawbacks and problems with Diet Coke. And back when I went to Peru and I took the anti-altitude sickness medications, which have a very strange side effect of stripping the ability of your body to taste any artificial tastes that are put into carbonated water. So all you can taste are all the chemicals. It was awful and disgusting. And I actually can trace my ability to drink water again as a drink, which I couldn't do for years and years and years and decades, to that point, because I had to learn to drink other things because I couldn't drink Diet Coke for weeks and weeks and weeks after that. But sadly, or not, I mean, it brings me great joy. Diet Coke does. But I am going to try to stop drinking soda of any kind, and I think that I will be able to do it for at least a month in 2020, an actual calendar month, or I don't know. Should I say?
Wait, so you're not predicting you're going to give it up and not drink it. You're just going to say you're making it for a month and then you pick it up again.
Yeah,
but you've already.
I'm not saying I pick it up again, but I say at least a month that I'll be able to not drink it. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever done that for a month.
Well, you did when you went to South America, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, with the help of drugs.
Yeah, well, okay.
Are you going to Peru?
Those again.
You're going to Peru.
Sadly, there are plans to go, but I cannot.
Are you going anywhere where you need altitude sickness medication?
I am going nowhere that I would take altitude.
Russ, I'm with you. It seems like it's a little weak sauce. Because it's just a month. However, to
be honest, I could only come up with 6, and this was I came up with this.
Well, it's a good prediction. Just go a little bolder. Yeah, go bolder. That's all I'm saying.
No,
because you drink. Craig and I drink lots of Diet Coke.
I will tell you that I drank a total of 5 large fast food Diet Cokes today.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
It's okay. All right.
So I disagree. I've traveled with Craig. He pretty much cannot live without it.
Diet Coke. I will seek out. I have paid at Vatican. I paid $6 for a can of Diet Coke.
I know.
Coke Light, as they say.
And I know when Craig goes to Star Wars with me, he's going to buy the thermal detonator Diet Coke. So
of course I am.
I'm going to disagree. Also, I think it is. It sounds easy, but I've seen. Craig and I have eaten at fast food places where we both get like 4
many times.
Yeah,
and I can't eat without the. And you can both attest. If my Diet Coke goes down and I don't have anything to drink, I stop eating till they.
I just realized, Rafe, this is a softball because every Tuesday when Craig and I go gaming, we go out to dinner together.
Yes,
and all I got to do is buy a Diet Coke and slide it over.
Exactly, it's a done deal.
This thing will be over. So
this may be the first prediction that one of us can actually. Hamstring the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can kick you in the balls too. That'll solve the other problem. All right. So
I feel like this year, maybe winning by such a large margin was a mistake.
Yeah, we're not bitter. It's fine.
No.
All right. Rick, what do you got?
Here's mine.
Okay.
I wanted to play more games, but did not, says Rafe with a sigh. Therefore, this new year, I will play Scythe.
Okay, you got to work on the poetry.
Again, one game of Scythe.
Not bad.
I wanted to play all year in 2019. Didn't play once.
Yeah. I feel like this is the exact same prediction, except that it doesn't include me getting kicked in the groin.
Yeah,
and I don't own Scythe.
I don't think sigh and scythe rhyme.
That's close.
It's called a slant rhyme or a near rhyme.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a country song rhyme.
It's like again and rain. They don't actually rhyme.
Country songs they do.
But I like
you have
prediction.
to say it like a country song. Sigh, play Scythe. No,
exactly.
even then. Man.
So you saying that once during the entire year you're going to play Scythe?
Correct.
But that's okay. That seems like a softball because it's just one game. You just pick one game. Don't
but
you
it's
want to
me.
play Scythe? Yeah, I know. But all right, Craig, what do you think of that?
I agree.
You agree?
Yep.
I'm going to agree with that too.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you?
Do you want to level it up, Rafe, or stick with 2 agrees? All right.
Nope.
Boy, we're all taking it easy this year. All right. My final prediction, again in verse. Now, this time, last year I want prediction 7 to always be like hopeful for humanity.
Oh, okay.
Like a thing. And last year I got a little out of my zone because I was in power generation, which, not my area of expertise. This year I tried to go back to what I studied in college. So here is my prediction.
Dungeons and Dragons?
No. Yes, but no. The dream of yesterday is the hope of tomorrow. Artemis 1 will succeed, inspiring others to follow. All right. Now, do you guys know what Artemis is?
No.
Okay. So the Artemis project is our return, our meaning the United States, meaning NASA's program, to return to the moon and beyond. And so this prediction is basically saying that Artemis 1, which is due to launch in 2020, will have a successful launch, and all lights will be green by the end of 2020. So I believe it is I believe it's a 4-week mission that's scheduled to launch in November. So I don't think it'll be done by 2020, but it'll be in progress by the time we do the predictions episode, and everything will be good. Everything will be going along fine.
Is it a manned mission?
No, this one is the first one's unmanned, but it does orbit the moon and get everything figured out. And then Artemis 2 is manned, and then beyond that, it gets out to talking about Mars stuff. But this is basically step 1 to get us ready to go to the moon again, and then beyond that. And so Artemis 2, I believe, or maybe 3, is 2 is manned also, and I can't remember if they're going to land in 2 or land in 3, but it's going to be the first woman on the moon, another man on the moon, happening around then. But that's like 2024. This is just the baby steps.
Are you sure it's called Artemis? I don't want you to be wrong on that, because didn't SpaceX rocket just launch the capsule, but it didn't fire off right? That had a different name. Oh, that's Artemis? Okay.
SpaceX is not NASA, though. Artemis.
No, I know, but the capsule was named Artemis.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. Artemis 1, if you go to nasa.gov/Artemis-1, you'll find it.
Okay.
But Artemis is the program. It's like the Apollo program. It's called Artemis this time. Artemis.
All right. Craig goes first.
All right, Craig, what do you think?
I disagree.
Ooh, wow. Pooping on the space program.
Disagree.
All right, I like it.
I'm going to agree.
No, I'm just thinking that things are often pushed back.
That's fair. That's fair. They do a lot.
And
all right.
I feel like there's going to be a lot going on, and I feel like I get my reasons. I have my deep dark reasons.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that later. Over a Diet Coke at our favorite restaurant.
Yes.
But first,
exactly.
We're not quite done yet, gentlemen. We've made our 7 predictions.
Oh.
But now we have to predict who's going to win next year. So, Craig, who do you think of the 3 of us is going to end at this point in the game with the highest point value?
Let's see. Russ, you got 2 possibles there. You got 1 possible there.
Scientific.
You got 1 possible there. You got 2 possible there. You got 1 possible there. You got 2 possible there. You got 1 possible there. Rafe, on the other hand, Rafe's got 3 possible there. He's got 2 possible there. He's got 3 possible. The Rafe went really kind of. He's got 1 possible there. 1. Oh, then he kind of fell off. And I think it might be next year. It might be a little. I'm gonna go with Russ.
Wow. All right. So you're basically banking on the poetry, is what you're saying.
Indeed. I think the poetry is really where it's at. I think we're all going to be composing by next year.
Good predictions, missed rhyme. Rafe,
I am going to go with the bonus grabbing the snitch to win, even though those aren't the rules.
Yeah.
Nor in Quidditch I've learned or here. And say it's Craig.
I'm going to go with Craig also because
wow, you guys are just because
I'm just playing probability now. I don't feel dude. When you win by 20,
the glittery robes can blind you. I guess
it is blinding.
It is.
Blinding.
But that could be the ball.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for another wonderful year of gaming and fun, and another great predictions episode. Hopefully, I don't know if it's great. You guys tell us if it's great. But
right.
We're really not the best judge of our own work.
That's right. But
we're
there you have it.
Striving for not too horrible 11 plus years.
Hopefully that was not too horrible, and have a safe and happy New Year, everyone.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year.
Have a good Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and see y'all in the new year.
Achievement unlocked! You've made it to the end of another D6 Generation episode, the podcast whose humor has universally been acclaimed as not too horrible. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at info@thed6generation.com. If for some inexplicable reason you actually enjoyed this show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes. Thanks for listening and happy gaming.